Meeting.
B, the March 3rd, 2026 council workshop minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the minutes of the March 3rd, 2026 council workshop minutes.
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, thank you. Report of standing, the administrative briefing.
Mayor, members of council, right now Ross Creek basketball court is underway. Asphalt's been laid and cured. The goals have been set today. I haven't been out there yet to confirm that, but according to Corey with Vertus Construction, and it's going to be striped on Thursday, so we're happy about that, and it's going to be roped off so there'll be drives on it for the Border Skate Park. Parks are busy this week preparing for the Border Skate event. Of course, that's Friday and Saturday, so Saturday kicks it off at 10 o'clock a.m. Currently working on submitting grants for Moore Park for the amphitheater stage and seating expansion, so we're looking for opportunities for that. And we'll have a busy work session in April reviewing our budget. So that's enough.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Prosslin? All right, hearing none, we'll go to move to new in-town business. Councilor Coleman?
We have 3 this month. The Ritual Massage and Wellness at 7715 St. Andrews Road. Viridian Massage and Body Work, that's at 7803 St. Andrews Road, Suite C1. Looks like I'm gonna get really relaxed soon. And then Hair Studio 17 at 8090 Irmo Drive in Suite 28. That's the end of our list.
Thank you. Short list this week. Yep. Okay, now we're under consideration of communications. We have amended the agenda to move item D, approval of resolution 2604, to rename the Irmo Town Park the Whit Klein Community Park.
So moved.
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, is there any further discussion? Will you call the roll, Lisa, please?
Mr. Ward,
Gladly, yes.
Mr. Penfield,
Yes.
Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
Mayor Danielson.
Yes. If we could all come down the front, and if we could ask Mr. Klein to come on up to the front, that would be wonderful. And his family, please. This is a resolution renaming the town of Irmo Town Park as the Whit Klein Community Park in honor of his extraordinary service, leadership, and lasting contributions to the town. Whereas the Town Council of the town of Irmo recognizes with deep gratitude and respect the dedicated public service of Mr. Whit Klein, who has served the town as a public service director and arborist. And whereas during his 25-year tenure, Mr. Klein demonstrated exceptional commitment to the stewardship, beautification, and maintenance of the town's public spaces, natural resources, and infrastructure. Whereas Mr. Klein's leadership, experience, and care of the environment have left a lasting and visible impact on the town of Irmo, enhancing the quality of life for its residents and preserving its natural character. And whereas Mr. Klein's passion for trees, parks, and public services helped shape the town's identity and fostered a strong sense of community pride. And whereas under Mr. Klein's leadership, the town of Irmo was first designated as Tree City USA in 2009, and has maintained that distinction annually since, reflecting his enduring commitment to urban forestry and environmental stewardship. And whereas the Town Council wishes to honor Mr. Klein in a meaningful and permanent way that reflects his legacy of service. Now therefore, it is resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Irmo, South Carolina as follows. Renaming of Town Park. The Town of Irmo Municipal Park, commonly referred to as Irmo Town Park, is hereby officially named Whit-Klein Community Park. Purpose and recognition. This renaming is intended to honor Mr. Whit-Klein's outstanding service, dedication, and enduring contributions to the town of Irmo and its community. Implementation. The town administration is hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary actions to implement this renaming, including but not limited to updating official town records, maps, and signage, installing appropriate signage, reorganizing the new name, notifying relevant agencies and the public of this change. Effective date, this resolution will take effect immediately upon adoption, but it is further resolved that the town of Irmo extends its heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Whit-Klein for his years of dedicated service and his lasting impact on this community. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Anyway, this sign. You get a little one. You get a big one.
Didn't know if you had a car big enough to take it out.
This is the sign that will be on the park. Hopefully, if effective tomorrow, we'll get it up.
I'm on it.
And not much else to say. But we love you.
I appreciate it.
You've done a great job.
I thought it was cried out, but I'm not. I've been a rough few weeks.
I understand.
I appreciate everybody that's here tonight. I've got friends, work colleagues, great friends, family. I really consider myself a very lucky man tonight. So thank everybody for their support and coming out here and seeing me. And we've got a good thing going here in Irmo, and I expect it to keep going in the future.
We do. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you.
All right, all my friends come outside.
If you're conducting business, you need to stay.
Okay, next item is Marilyn Keefe here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you are. Come on down.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Good to see you back there. I've been looking for you. How are you? We're also honored to, this month, to make this proclamation declaring March as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. Whereas I, Bill Danielson, Mayor of the Town of Irmo, am proud to commemorate March 2026 as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month in the state of South Carolina. And whereas this designation will formalize and expand upon the federal designation 40 years ago of March 1986 as Hemophilia Awareness Month. And in 2016, with the entirety of the bleeding disorders community, came together to encompass all bleeding disorders. And whereas the Federal Department of Health and Human Services designated March 2016 as National Bleeding Disorders Month. And whereas these bleeding disorders, which share the inability to form a proper blood clot, are characterized by extended bleeding after injury, surgery, trauma, or menstruation, and can lead to significant morbidity and can be fatal if not treated effectively. Whereas many individuals with hemophilia became infected with HIV and hepatitis C in the 80s due to the contamination of blood supply and blood products. Whereas this awareness month in the town of Irmo will generate greater awareness and understanding of not only hemophilia, but in all inheritable bleeding disorders, including von Willebrand disease and rare bleeding disorders, which affect millions of individuals around the world. Whereas Bleeding Disorders Association of South Carolina will recognize March 1, 2026 as Von Willebrand Disease Awareness Election Day, March 15, 2026 is Ultra Rare and Platelet Bleeding Disorders Awareness Education Day, and March 31st, 2026 is Women Who Bleed Awareness Election Day. Whereas this awareness month will bring light to the great scientific achievements in the treatment of bleeding disorders for which there is no cure, and the greater pursuit of advanced therapies and cures to these disorders. Whereas the bleeding disorders community's relationship with policymakers have fostered numerous medical and policy advancements beneficial to all those affected by bleeding disorders and their loved ones. And whereas this awareness month will foster a greater sense of community and shared purpose among individuals in an inheritable bleeding disorder. And whereas this awareness month will elevate awareness and engagement of the inheritable bleeding disorders beyond our community to the general public, enabling the prevention of illness, unnecessary procedures, and disability. Now therefore, I, Bill Danielson, Mayor of the town of Irmo, does hereby proclaim March 2026 as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month in the town of Irmo. In witness hereof, I am hereunto set my hand and cause the official seal of the town of Irmo is to be affixed this 17th day of March 2026. What a week.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good to see you.
You're welcome.
Mayor, can we go back to item A, recognition of the Smiths?
Yes. We also wanted to have a consideration of communications for the recognition of George and Melody Smith of 213 Shorn Court as the March 2026 Yard of the Quarter. And I don't believe Mr. and Mrs. Smith are here, but we want to honor them anyway. Please drive by their yard. It's beautiful. Continuing on. Do it.
Tonight's school showcase is Seven Oaks Elementary Global Magnet and will be presented by Dr. Angie Slatton, the principal.
Good evening. I'm Angie Slatton, proud principal at Seven Oaks Elementary School, and I'm here to share some really exciting things that are happening with our students in the Seven Oaks School. So first and foremost, go to the second slide. We are working towards becoming International Baccalaureate certified, and we are working now towards the units of inquiry that are necessary in order to become IB. As many of you know already, Irmo High School is an IB school both for career and diploma track. There are only 10 other schools in the state of South Carolina that are IB for primary year program schools, so those PYP schools. So we will be the only one in the Midlands once we're certified in spring of 2027. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about what that means for our students and the community of our school. So becoming a PYP school really aligns very nicely with the profile of a high school graduate in the state of South Carolina. I'm not sure how well you can see the presentation here, but the goal is that our students will become internationally minded in the decision-making that they have throughout the school day and their problem-solving techniques. And so what you see there is the profile that we're looking to become. And we will be developing transdisciplinary programs of units of study for the children. And it's been so much fun to watch them explore that already. I'm not sure if Mr. Klein is retiring, but we have our first gardening beds, and we have planted many, many things already twice this year. And so our students are gardening with us. They have visited some of our neighboring nursing homes and shared stories with our kindergartners, which has been absolutely precious. We have had letters that have been written between some of the senior citizens in our community with our fifth graders, and really exploring the differences of our community in many, many ways. Our field experiences have grown. We've got students that are out in the community learning in various ways every single day. Well, not field trips around every day, but even within the school, the inquiry that our kids are experiencing is growing them as well-rounded thinkers. So you've got great citizens coming your way in just a few short years to continue the proud traditions of Irmo. So being an IB school means we have students that are the next slide. Inquirers. We want them to be open-minded. We want them to be knowledgeable. We want them to be caring. We want them to be thinkers. We want them to be problem solvers. When we say risk takers, we want them to take that chance when that test question seems hard, or they're not quite sure how to approach that new friend in class. We want them to take those chances and us work through those challenges with them. We want them to be communicators. We want them to be balanced. We want them to be principled and focused. And we want them to be reflective. And there's nothing more joyful than to walk into a kindergarten, first grade classroom, and you see them using this language and knowing what it means. It is so much fun. We welcome anyone to come and visit and see the excitement that's happening in our hallways. Our approaches to learning are very similar to what you would see in alignment to the South Carolina state standards, but we're approaching our inquiry in a slightly different way. So when we have children thinking about how they're exploring and how they're problem solving, we are working for the teacher to become the facilitator of the learning, so the students are really thinking and problem solving on their own. So here, you see here the approaches to learning as an IB school. We really are digging deep into what it means to problem solve and having them problem solve together as teams. We want them to develop local and global contacts. So we want them to understand how they can make an impact right here in our small town, our hometown, but also how that can impact others through things like awareness of the environment and the awareness of others and cultures around us. We want them to be teamwork and to have great teamwork, and we want them to be collaborators. I have a beautiful story. One of my favorite things as principal is I get to send positive referrals to families. And one I got to send from a second grader to the family this week was, we had a new student at school. He couldn't quite find his way to his classroom. I think he was maybe 2 days into the school year. And one of our amazing, actually, teacher of the year, Dr. Constable, came by and saw that the child was confused about where the hallway is. If you've ever been to Seven Oaks, we have a lot of hallways and you can get lost in them. And so the student was struggling. And Dr. Constable walked up as another second grader walked up to him, and the second grader said, "I got you." Dr. Constable faded back. I know the tear-eyed saying it. Watched this second grade child take this child under her wing and get him to class. That's the special, precious moments of Seven Oaks. So I could tell you stories all day, but that's just the one I've got to tell this week. So we are working towards our students to be kind and helpful and thinkers and problem solvers, and we want them to believe in themselves as learners and as young citizens of our community. one of the fun things we have going on, we are one of the, we're the only school in District 5 that have a house system. And so, and you'll see that our house systems are named, they're internationally themed, but they are aligned to our 4 Bs that we think, that when we talk about, if you ask a student at Seven Oaks, they know what the 4 Bs are. And they are to be responsible, be safe, be caring, and to be collaborative. And so we have had lots of fun competitions. Right now, I'm at Itzla, I'm green, and I'm losing miserably. Our team is not doing a great job. I think Diallo is winning right now, but they win for, there's a house competition on our early release days when sometimes we have issues with attendance. That's when we have our house events. And they know who's got the points and they know who's winning. For every student who met their math goal, they got a point for their house. We build in attendance incentives around the house system. So there's lots of fun, exciting things that we're doing to engage students at school to grow in the way that we want them to grow. So house systems are fun. And then just a couple of celebrations that we've had since the last time I had a chance to talk with you. We did grow 11 points at our report card last year. We went from below average to average. We're continuing to work our way up that scale. We increased our climate survey significantly. We're in the process of wrapping that up now for the 25-26 school year. We developed a PTO for the first time in several years. We've developed a student council, which has been critical in helping us grow our students and leadership. And we're continuing to build those IB units that I mentioned. To be certified, we have to have 6 units a year in each grade level, and that's what we're working towards now. And then, of course, our house competitions that I shared. So a lot of fun, exciting things going on. Often I get asked, what can I do to help Seven Oaks? So a couple of things that come to mind. Our children, they're just so loving and caring and so hardworking. And they love having mentors. They love having reading buddies. They would love a gardening partner. Mr. Klein's still up, I'm gonna recruit him before he leaves. So lots of opportunities. If you're looking for volunteer opportunities and want to work with children, we would love to have you. Our PTO just wrapped up a Domino's coupon, buy one, get one card, but we are always looking for donations through our PTO. We have a wonderful book vending machine that St. Andrew's Women donated to us. Every child gets a book for their birthday, and that is all run through donations. So if you ever wanted to give a child a book for their birthday, I can help you with that. We always are looking for ways to celebrate our amazing staff that are growing our children so much every day. We are always looking for opportunities to celebrate them through treat carts or lunch, any kind of recognition for our staff. And then our snack pack program, we have the highest index of poverty in the district at about between 88 and 90% poverty index. And so we have a lot of students that depend heavily on that snack pack program. So anytime you want to sponsor a snack pack program for District 5, we're grateful for that. And of course, if you've got another way, the gardening beds that I mentioned, those were a donation through Trade Industries. So we are always open to any way that you could see yourself giving back to Seven Oaks. And I can't end a presentation without you seeing some of the beautiful faces of our children. The top picture in the corner is I had done a read aloud in the first grade class, and I said, have you thanked your teacher today? And that's what happened. It's been climbing. I don't know if you could tell the teacher's in the middle. I can't really see her with all this first grade body. She's okay. Yeah, it's just a perfect example of this word. She's a precious soul. They take me to a wall at Thanksgiving. They thought that was pretty funny. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember why, but they earned it, and so I was taken to a wall. That's okay. The picture of us eating with food is one of the days we had a weather day. It was a Friday afternoon, and said we're going to be closed on Monday, and you got an hour, and you got to send food home to everyone. And so that we made the call, and within a matter of minutes, that cafeteria was full of people making sure that every child would come with food that day. And that's just, again, a beautiful example of who we are at Seven Oaks. And then the next slide, these are just fun, happy, beautiful children that we get to celebrate and work with every day. So I can't tell a story about Seven Oaks without you seeing my face. So, any questions?
Great job. Thank you for the hard work you're doing.
Absolutely. I say often my children and my staff are easy to work hard for.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. We're ready to...
Next up, we have a special presentation by Serve and Connect. Come on down. Clock's a ticking. I think I've seen this rodeo before.
You were. Well, good evening.
He's very upset with you guys.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting us here tonight. I'm Cassie Ray. I'm the CEO and founder of Serve and Connect, and I am joined by my teammate, Kim Dennis, our Chief Operating Officer. We are so proud to be here tonight to present the Greg Alley Award to Corporal Stokes. And so first, a little bit about the award. This is the premier award that we give out every year. It goes to a police officer who, like my husband Greg, who was a police officer in Forest Acres, who was killed in the line of duty 10 years ago. I'm still proud to this day to hear stories about the way that Greg made a difference in the lives of others. Not in the big moments, but in the small everyday moments, the way he showed up for people with care, compassion, dignity, and respect. And the Greg Alley Award goes to a police officer who is recognized for doing just that. It is our greatest honor every year to recognize police officers all across the state, and I mean that, all across the state, who are put in the outstanding work that they do. This year was particularly challenging. There were many powerful and beautiful nominations that came through. But as Kim and I read the nominations that came in, she was like, Cassie, can you guess which one made me cry? We both were on the same page. But it's so hard to pick, so we shipped it out for an external review, and we are very proud that the award winner that emerged was Corporal Stokes. And I want to read the nomination that came through, a little bit about him. Corporal Stokes is widely recognized for his authentic commitment to community engagement and service. Nominated through multiple letters of support, he is described as an indispensable asset who consistently goes far beyond the expectations of his role to assist vulnerable residents and individuals experiencing hardship. Corporal Stokes is known for helping those in need using his own resources, even paying out of pocket for necessities when support is not otherwise available. He also leads hands-on life skills program for children that teaches confidence, etiquette, and personal responsibility. In one remarkable example, after encountering a stranded motorist experiencing homelessness who had been financially exploited regarding her vehicle, Corporal Stokes intervened, coordinated repairs, ensured she had food and support, and even personally covered the cost of the repair so she would not lose her only source of shelter and transportation. That is truly going beyond the call of service, to truly caring, loving, and showing up. And that's what every letter indicated for Corporal Stokes, and why we are so very proud that he was this year's Greg Alley Award recipient.
Yesterday's hair, people can do it.
How many pictures are Any comments?
Thank you all, and glad for Serve and Connect. I'm glad for Lieutenant Grinstead nominating me for this prestigious award. Greg was a real cool guy, a real nice fella. I liked him a lot. I'm not too big on awards, but this particular award, because of the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice that he made and the type of person he was is what makes this award so special. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Let's put him up enough. He's gonna give up more money soon. That is an honor beyond recognition of normal policing, folks. I mean, this guy, I've seen him interact. I've seen him do a lot of things. And you want to talk about a cool dude under whatever line, whatever stress is going on. I wish I had more of his temperament. That guy is unbelievable. And we're lucky to have him. Thank you, Corporal Stokes. Okay, next item up, community connections. Counselor, would you like to take it?
Yes. The first event on the list was Shatter the Myth. This event has been canceled. Well, it has actually been postponed and rescheduled for October 2026. So keep an eye out for that announcement of that date. As you heard earlier, on March 27th and 28th at Rawls Creek Park, there will be the Border Series skate park event. And if you're interested in registering for that competition, you can register at theborder.com. There's 2 opportunities to purchase plants for your spring gardens at local schools. Irmo Middle School is having their plant sale in person on Friday, March 27th and Saturday, March 28th, as well as having online sales while supplies last. That's March 30th through April 1st. Also at the Center for Advanced Technical Studies, they are having a plant sale on March 30th through April 1st, and their plant sale is going to benefit their FFA chapter. There are several Easter events coming up in the next few days and next week. This is a list of some of those. On Saturday, March 28th from 11 to 1 in the Green Iceberg Community Garden is the 2nd annual Community Extravaganza. Also on Saturday, March 28th from 10 to 11:30 a.m., there will be an Easter egg hunt at Bethlehem Lutheran Church. ICRC is going to be holding a bunny hop trail on Saturday, March 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 at Seven Oaks Park. They're also having a preschool and special friends egg hunt on March 31st and a flashlight egg hunt on Thursday, April 2nd from 7 to 8 p.m. at Crooked Creek Park. And on April 4th at 10 a.m., there'll be the Peepa-Palooza, which is a free family egg hunt with games and prizes. This will be at Moore Park, and it will be hosted by the Irmo Family Worship Center, Irmo Church of God, and the Irmo Events Committee. On Saturday, April 18th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at McGregor Learning Garden, there'll be the 4th annual Irmo Community Earth Day celebration. This is an opportunity to not only view some of their vendors and get some information on how to celebrate the earth, but you can also bring plants to swap, donate gently used shoes. They will have a knife and garden tool sharpening event there, and they take donations for the District 5 snack pack for that function. They will recycle textiles, and they will also collect unwanted rechargeable devices for lithium batteries so that they can be recycled properly, and also plastic bags for reuse and recycling. On April 19th from 12 to 4 p.m. in Moore Park, there will be the Speed and Beauty 2026 car show. This is the Porsche car show. It's called Speed and Beauty Porsche Car Show. And again, this is a benefit. And There's a $30 exhibitor charge and a $5 spectator charge. And just as a way of reminding you that the Irmo Town Limits Spring Concert Series has been set for April 24th, May 1st, and May 8th in Moore Park, and the gates open at 5 p.m. Music starts at 7 p.m., and this year all of these concerts are free. Harbison Community is offering swim lessons at their recreation center. If you're interested in having your child learn to swim, this is a great opportunity. There's sessions throughout June and July. If you want more information on how to register for the swim lessons at Harbison, contact the Harbison Recreation Center. There's also a shoe drive going on. The town of Irmo is teamed up with Keep the Midlands Beautiful and is collecting new and gently used shoes. There's a donation box at the front of Town Hall. And that concludes the community connections.
Thank you, Counselor. Next item up is presentation by citizens. That's the agenda items only. And I will ask that you're limited to 3 minutes. Be civil and tell us your position and what you think. And I would say we've got one person signed up. I don't see any others. Mr. Taylor, Joshua Taylor?
Oh, no.
You okay now?
Not
Okay. All right, thank you. Anybody else? I don't see anybody else signed up. So with that, we're going to move on to unfinished business. Second reading of ordinance 2604, an application to annex 16.6 acres of land into the town of Irmo, brought by the Planning Commission. The parcels TMS R05000-08-02 and R05100-04-10, located at 7434 and 7440 Broad River Road. The applicant is requesting a zoning of CG, general commercial. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, haven't been appropriately motioned. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to note, because we have a lot of annexations that come across the dais here, and everybody has mixed feelings on it, but when we put this on the agenda, we say things like parcel TMS R050, it's located at this address. I just want the public to realize this specific annexation is an existing business. It physically exists there already. This isn't land we are bringing into town to destroy the trees and to put something up. This is a business that already exists. They have a workforce, they have a traffic pattern that already exists on Broad River Road. And then, I'm not going to speak on the benefits to the town, because I think they differ depending on who you're talking to. But this is a business that's asking to be a part of our great town. And so I just wanted to make that statement, because I think it's important, and sometimes it might get lost when we're just up here reading off numbers and saying things like zoning at CG. This is a real business with real people that bring real benefits to our town. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Lisa, will you call the roll?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Penfield?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Danielson?
Yes. Okay, that concludes unfinished business, and we're going to move to new business. Item A, first reading of ordinance 2605 to amend Chapter 33 of the Municipal Code and establish a local accommodations tax, brought to us by the staff. This would establish a 3% local accommodations tax and all revenues going to tourism-related expenses. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Haven't been appropriately motioned. Let's move to discussion. Councilors?
Additional revenue is always good, especially when it's part of a participation of attending, or being here in the town in the first place. It gets recycled, so to speak, back into the local economy.
Council, anything? Yeah, this is considered heads on beds. I mean, that's basically what this is, and we're allowed a 3%, especially in, I guess this is in Richland County.
It is.
We have that gap. They can get up to 5% accommodations, so we can get 3. And the neat thing is, it doesn't have to be divvied up according to our accommodations tax committee. It's pure profit, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that this is not something the local folks are paying unless they get thrown out of their house and have to stay in a hotel here. Or something bad happens in their house and they have to stay in a hotel here. We all go to hotels, we get quoted rates, and we get the bill, and it's $50 more than the quoted rate. Right? I had the pleasure of being in D.C. like 2 weeks ago, and the taxes on the room were $147. $147. So anyhow, that's what this is, and this is revenue that we should have captured a long time ago, to be perfectly frank.
And if I may, I don't know if we said it out loud, but that it said an additional 120,000 a year?
Estimated to be about an additional 120,000 a year to go to our beautiful parks and everything that we do, the honoring of Mr. Klein and his work over the years. These parks cost a lot of money to maintain.
And if I could, it does not supplant the general fund. This is additional revenues that are specifically for tourism, for
Right.
bring in those acts, those events that put additional heads in beds. So that has a specific line item that you can use that money for.
Yeah, correct. We can't spend the money to
No,
pave a road if we had a road.
no.
Give Doug raises or anything like that.
Right. Okay, Lisa, will you call the roll?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Penfield?
No.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Danielson?
Yes. Next item up, first reading of ordinance 2608, an application to annex .44 acres land into the town of Irmo, brought by the Planning Commission. The parcel TMS R04004-01-02 is located at 200 Ministry Drive. The applicant is requesting a zoning of CG, General Commercial. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Haven't been appropriately motioned. Further discussion? Councilor Coleman?
Yes, did you want me to speak on the
Yes.
annexation? Well, I definitely am for it. It's been petitioned to join the town similar to the previous business. I'm glad that, obviously you want it to be a participatory type event. And again, it can only increase, our revenue as far as business revenue coming into the town.
Right.
Because we have expenses that we need to take care of.
Again, this is an existing building, an existing office. It's been there for probably 15 years
Yes,
with 5 or 6 different businesses in it.
right. And as Mike pointed out, it's not going to increase anything
No.
as far as impact to
Right.
traffic and so forth. Unless they just grow leaps and bounds, which still is a benefit on the tax side.
Okay? Anything else? Anything? Lisa, will you call the roll?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Penfield?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes,
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Danielson?
Yes. Okay, next item up, we move to item E, approval of an amendment to the 2026 orchestra budget. I'm sorry,
jumped
I
over one.
missed one. I wanted to get to E, do you mind? First reading of ordinance 2609, an application to annex 21.78 acres of land into the town of Irmo, brought by the Planning Commission. The parcels TMS R03206-01-011 and -012. They're adjacent. They are located on Dreer Shoals Road, north of Leamington Way. Parcel R03206-01-11 is requesting a zoning of fringe agriculture, and parcel R03206-01-12 is requesting RS single-family residential zoning. These parcels were known as Water Walk East. That part of this has been removed. They have removed that. And this is the owners of these two parcels who want to come into the town and have no plans to develop anything, but want to be into the town of Irmo at this point. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, is there further discussion?
I just would like to reiterate the fact that there are no current development plans for this property. This is the owners asking to be annexed into the town. These are the the zones that they have requested for those properties, but at this point, there is no plan for any type of development on that property.
Might add, there's also there's no sewer in that property, so it's a ways off. If anything was to be done, there is no sewer capacity there, so. Anything else? Lisa, will you call the roll?
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Penfield,
No.
Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
Mayor Daniels.
Yes. Now we'll move on to the approval of an amendment to the 2026 Okra Strut budget, Okra Strut Commission. The Commission is requesting an additional $40,000 be added to the annual budget, raising it to $184,000 for the 2026 strut. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, we'll open it up for discussion.
Mr. Mayor, would it be appropriate to invite the Okra Strut Commission Chair up to explain the reason for the additional $40,000 that's being requested? Dawn is here tonight.
That would be fine.
Thank you, council members. I appreciate your time this evening. The explanation of the increase for the budget is to increase our entertainment options. We have a few options that we're going to, if approved, reach out for, which would include the Gatlin Brothers, or Monsters of Yacht, which is yacht music, or Charles Kelly of Lady A. So those are the entertainment options that we would like to have for our headliner on Friday evening. So to do so, we were asking for an increase in the budget for the Irmo Okra Strut.
Questions?
And I apologize that I have not been in attendance at Okra Strut meetings, but how much is this taking us past the budget that we had for last year?
$40,000. It depends on which one of these we go with, but we would need an increase, maybe less for one of the other options. Like if we went for Monsters of Yacht, we would need 10,000. If we needed Gatlin Brothers, we'd need 25. If we got Charles Kelly, we would need the 40. So it's one of those up to $40,000 increase, just kind of depending on when we go through the availability at the time we put in the requests.
Right, so if I'm understanding you correctly, last year the budget was roughly 144.
Correct.
And for that, we had a headliner band, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know, is it tariff impacted that all of a sudden we have to go up to possibly 40,000? Are we seeing such a better quality band than what we had as a headliner last year, that the cost is so high?
The understanding is the name is a little bit more broader understood and understood as a larger band, a larger group coming than what we had last year.
Oh, okay. I personally didn't recognize anybody that you said, so that's why I'm asking. But go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, if I could take the liberty to answer that also on behalf. As the former commission chair, a couple of years ago, our budget was actually more than 144. I want to, off the top of my head, maybe it was 174, 176. When we had the hurricane that happened in 2024,
Yes.
that canceled the event, some of those performers were very, very gracious to us and carried deposits forward. So when we reduced the overall budget for the 2025 orchestra because of the significant loss we felt in 24, it's really misleading coming back this year, because if we were still on our incline, we would be already looking at $170,000, $180,000. And so the additional 40 would, in my opinion, it would put us back on track of where we were already tracking before we got hurt by the hurricane. And so I just wanted to bring that.
So then it's
that-
really a net difference of around 10,000.
So yeah, it would be about
from
10,000.
2 years ago.
And then yes, tariffs and inflation and all of the
Okay,
other stuff.
all right. Just
Yeah, we've
wondering.
noticed some of the previous ones that we were looking at for 2024, they're well 20,000 plus this year for getting that same entertainment.
Okay. I
Yeah,
just
but thank you
wanted
for
to
that. Yeah,
make
I mean,
math sense.
we were very lucky to get in 2025 for the same cost that we were promised in 2024. So it definitely was a big jump, it looks like, this year, but when you
So-
do look at it, yeah.
All right, so you have bids out for these various bands, waiting for one to say yay or nay? Is that how it's working?
We have our preferred list,
Mhm.
but we are not moving forward until we are getting approved for the extension in the budget. And then once we have this permission, if we get it, then we'll put out the actual formal bid.
Okay. Thank you for your, yeah.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Good?
Yeah.
This money's for the music,
This is for the entertainment for Friday night headliner.
and also forgive me for missing the last meeting, but I saw on the agenda there was discussion about rides. I haven't gotten feedback of dissatisfaction with the music, but I've heard requests for more adult level rides.
We have put out a packet to everyone to see the rides that we have gotten quotes for so far, and then some other ones we are still waiting on quotes for that we had last year, such as the remote control car, the video game trailer, some different things. But we have not yet voted on pursuing any more for that budget yet until we get back together after everyone had time to review the different amusement rides options that we have.
Would that be within the existing budget dollars?
We may need to come back, depending on what we all decide on from the recommendations versus all of the options that were available.
Very good, thank you.
From my experience in the meeting, the amusement ride budget's going to be difficult to meet.
It will be, yes. We could reduce what we had from last year to meet it, but we'd have a couple ideas that we think will draw in a lot more people. And one of them being a Ferris wheel. We think that will be a big attention draw, and it holds a lot of people, like for each ride. There's a couple other options that we're looking into for the amusements that we had from last year, but we're going to compare to other events to see if it's something that we want to pursue. And then we're also going to look into some other sponsors to help cover some of them, like the remote control car. If we get people to sponsor the actual wraps that are on the actual cars that are used in the race, that might help supplement the cost of the actual event.
And this is directed, I guess, to Mr. Carlson. Do we have any residual funds in the Booker Strut account?
We were a pretty tight budget last year.
So my concern is just, as we increase the budget, and you may need to increase it even more for the amusements, do we have enough revenue coming in from sponsors to cover this?
The ask is, ask of the commission, the commission is that we are going to search for some more sponsors to help cover specifically some of the amusements. And the goal is to reduce our actual out-of-pocket for it. Plus, last year, based on the weather that we had Friday, the amusement income was not really present. So hopefully if we get different rides, more attraction, more interest, building up to it, we would have that income from the actual sales of the amusement rides versus what we didn't have there last year. So we're trying to change it a little bit with some of the ride options that we have this year. A fun house and a Ferris wheel.
And I just have, from my own academic understanding, do we do any kind of surveying of the attendance to say, hey, what if you had your dream festival, what would it be? I mean, or are we just kind of coming up with ideas that may or may not really appeal? You understand what I'm
I
saying?
do,
Like,
yes.
yeah.
And we have not formally done a survey of them. I know we have talked to some of the people who have attended. We actually have talked to a lot of different vendors for what they receive as feedback of what rides are more used and purchased at other events that we have around the state. So we have talked to our vendors that we used previously, the ones that we've gotten quotes from this year,
Yeah.
to see the feedback of what they see at other events for, you know, hey, that ride really didn't do that well, but this one's really popular, or this one can handle a lot more per hour, so the lines aren't as long, and to kind of look at that benefit as well to help get the tickets through.
Yeah, I just think it would be, you know, just in case what works in Greenville doesn't work in Irmo, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it might be a popular ride, but it might be a dud here.
Yeah, we can definitely put
Yeah.
that out on, you know, again, it's kind of hard to do some surveys on social media or whatever. We could something out there
Yeah.
to
Or just have a person walking around asking questions.
yeah.
That'll work too.
Oh, yeah, for the actual event, but I mean, leading
Yeah,
up to our
I
next
mean-
meeting to vote on the amusements, we could
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, it might be a year in arrears, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying is
absolutely.
maybe start looking at the actual attendees and what they
Absolutely.
give you some real live feedback. That's all. Yeah.
Absolutely. We had two.
No, I understand.
Too
This
rough.
would be rebuilding, and also, I want to notate, out of the current $144,000 budget, approximately $22,000 of that is tax reimbursement dollars. That's hospitality or accommodations tax money, mostly from the counties or from our Irmo A tax, that have to be spent on tourism-related activities. And so we spend the money as the town, and then we apply for the grant, get the reimbursement. And then the remaining money, approximately $120,000, in years previous to the hurricane, even with the year of the hurricane, the majority of that, or all of that money, is what we considered at the Strut as revenue. And I know as the town, that's not really revenue, but that comes from exhibitor sales where they're purchasing their spots. That's the food vendors paying for their privilege to be there. The actual sponsors that are sponsoring this event, like Lexington Health. All of those, the parade entry fees, the day of the event sales that happen, the amusement ride sales, all of that cash comes back, and that's what they build that $120,000-ish of the budget. And so for me, looking at this, it is a good question if we have that money in the budget from the town, because that would really be the town putting in an extra 40. Hopefully they can grab some sponsors and that money stays within the town. But the reality is this is really over and above what we put in, because most of all of that stuff is self-generated.
Right. I'm just, you know, I'm thinking about the audience that's watching us talk, and she just said maybe she might come back for more. And so I just wanted to make sure that we're going through all our paces and doing our due diligence to make sure that, you know, we're doing as best we can and being efficient with the funding. And so that's why I
Absolutely.
was like, what does your market actually want, you know?
And the reason we're coming at different points for the budget is, in order to get things moving for the year, we wanted to get the budget approved that we had with the information we had at that time.
Right.
And at that point, we still had not had our quotes back from some of the entertainments and some of the amusements. So in order to not hold up other things and possibly lose vendors or different things, we went ahead and decided to put forward as was with the 2024/2025 budget.
Right.
And then approach if we needed it based on the feedback we got from the quotes.
Because with that additional information you just gave about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
it's really not that much of an increase. See, but to look at it right at first, it was like 40 grand.
I have big shoes to fill.
Let's
He's
buy
still
another
got it
vehicle
all.
for the police department.
He's still got it all up here. So
Okay,
he's-
I'm good. All right, that's it for me.
Okay, Lisa, will you call the roll?
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Penfield,
No.
Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
Mayor Danielson.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Next item up, appointment to the Accommodations Tax Advisory Committee, brought to us by the staff. Imagine that, we're talking about tax accommodations. Now we have an appointment. There is one vacancy with a term ending August 2027. We have one application, I believe. Yeah, Kathleen Goslin is the current general manager of the Irmo Stay Apartment Suites and is willing and able to serve as a representative of the accommodations industry. Staff recommends the appointment of Ms. Goslin to the ATAX committee. Is there a motion?
I move that we appoint Kathleen Goslin to the ATAX committee.
Second.
Haven't been appropriately motioned. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. Next item up, presentation by citizens. Again, 3 minutes, civility and all that good stuff. I have nobody signed up. Is there anybody last minute? Yes, sir, come on down.
Yes, the stay apartment hotels and the Woodspring hotels, ever since they popped up, transits have been coming into town. They've been wandering around on Broad River Road. There've been some wandering around in Old Friars Gate. And there was a transit coming into Marco's and harassing employees there for free food. And they've been in the gas station, the 7-Eleven, and the Circle K, and giving those employees some grief.
Thank you. Okay, next item up, discussion. Tonight, we had, the council had a revocation hearing, a business revocation hearing just prior to this meeting, which turned out to be not in favor of the business. And we did vote 4-0. One of the council members was missing. 4-0, and to revoke the license. So you may hear about it, you may see it, we're completely upfront about it, and it's due to selling illegal drugs to our kids and 2 or 3 different options. 2 or 3 different being caught is the reality of it. So we did revoke a business license, not something any of us wanted to do. Certainly nobody wanted to do it. And I don't think we've done it here. I don't know if anybody can tell me, but it's been well over 20 years that we've even had a revocation hearing. So that's just a discussion purposes only, to be completely transparent. Next item up is executive session. Town council may act on items discussed in the executive session after returning from the executive session. Executive session pursuant to 30-4-70A2 for receipt of legal advice regarding contractual and legal obligations associated with a USDA grant and a potential claim. Is there a motion to go in executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Folks, we'll be back. I didn't think it was cool in here until I just came out of there.
I know, right? Where's this cool?
Yeah. Dang. Okay, folks, we are out of executive session. A motion?
I move that we adjourn.
Is there a second? Having been appropriately motioned for adjournment, we are adjourned. Thank you.